Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the pervasive problem we've all experienced this last year and a half, almost 2 years now, right? Well, not quite 2 years, but that is fear, right? What I see looking out into the world and what I definitely have allowed myself to go into is a state of fear for the last year and a half. And if you know anything about the emotions or our psychology, you know that whatever we're thinking about, that's setting up subtle vibrations not only in our consciousness and then in our body and in our being, but we're also emanating those out into the world, right? Human beings we're so awesome. We have such an ability to create, right? We're focusers. We just choose what we want, and the universe, the universal engine, this law of attraction engine that is always running behind the scenes, adds to our momentum there and gives us more of what we want. So if we're focusing on something we're fearful about and we're feeling fearful, we get more of what we want, right? We get more fear states. We get more induced fear in our mind. It's awesome, but it can be detrimental to us. We're in charge, you see, we're in charge. One of the things, and I've shared this with videos in the prior here as we talk about this situation we're in, one of the things is I'm removing my attention from, I've always removed, well, for the last 10 years, maybe 8 to 10 years, I've removed my attention from the media because it doesn't serve me, right? Their message doesn't serve me. I've realized they have an ulterior motive that serves them. It doesn't serve me, right? I don't need to know about every disaster in the world, right? I can't help with those disasters. I can't physically go to those locations and help them do that, right? And while I am constantly sending positive vibes out into the world, I can't be around the world and help people pick up a bunch of stuff that's from a building that's fallen, right? So it doesn't benefit me to know that, right? I want to keep my consciousness as much a part of the solution as I can. And sometimes that's challenging. Let's be honest, this last year was challenging for a lot of people. And I don't think we'll ever know the depths of despair that some people experienced because of what went down last year. And that makes me pretty angry, right? Because all of that stuff did not need to happen. If we have strong leaders, they come to us and they say, look, we have a bad situation on our hands. It's going to take all of us coming together in order to make it work, right? There's this and this and this, and some people are going to be affected, some will not, but we will get through this, right? What our leaders in the media did is induced fear constantly, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for a whole year and a half. And what happened was people absorbed that fear, and then they emanated the fear out as well, right? They transmitted the fear. The fear was implanted in a person's consciousness watching some show or listening to some politician, and then they're spreading the fear. And you know what? I'm guilty. I'm just as guilty as the other person. I found myself talking about things that I don't care about, that I don't want to talk about, that I don't want to share in the world, that I don't want to amplify that vibration in the world or those thoughts, right? Or those feelings in the world. But I did because I think we were all consumed by that. But I think what's happening now, and the reason we're seeing so many people waking up and saying, hey, what's really going on here, right? Is because you can only go so long out of alignment, right? And eventually you're going to be like, hey, I need to get back in charge here. And this happened to me a couple months ago. I said to myself, I don't care what happens. I have work to do here in the world. You have work to do here in the world. You didn't come in to live in a fear state, right? You came in here to be a badass conscious creator and leave your fingerprint on this world. Leave what you came to make here in this world. We all did. So just remember that. So when we double back to this idea that I want to share with you, fear is the mind killer, right? It's from the movie Dune in the, 80s, 70s? I can't remember. But I was young at the time. I wasn't super into sci-fi, but I remember that movie, and I've always remembered that quote the last number of years because I love to talk about what helps us have a better experience and what detracts us from having a better experience. And living in a fear state is super detrimental to human beings. And the thing about the fear state is this. Oftentimes you don't know that you're in it, but it's affecting your life, right? So I always recommend people don't watch the media, don't watch mainstream television. If you can, turn the television completely off, right? Especially network programming. Listen to uplifting music. Watch videos. This is why I'm such a big fan of YouTube. I can find a super special person, and there's millions of them, well, not millions, hundreds of thousands of them on YouTube, and I watch their videos and I get to live vicariously through them, whether it's a travel vlogger or a cooking person or someone just entertaining me, right? These are real people that are sharing their experiences, much like I'm sharing my experiences with you. And that's something that really touches me in my heart, right? I haven't watched network television in so long, and you know what? I don't miss it at all. I don't miss it at all. It's very contrived in my mind. And if you love network television, please don't get me wrong. These are my personal feelings, right? This doesn't do it for me, right? And especially what doesn't do it for me is the evening news. I don't want that fear in my brain. And so what I want to offer you in this video is this. The powers that be, are always going to use fear. But how can we neutralize that from happening? How can we remove ourselves from the situation? Well, let's look at it this way. They will always use the fear of death because it's the most prevalent fear. All human beings have it to some degree or another. Most human beings have it. What I want to offer you in this video is if you can find a way to reconcile or dissolve your fear of death, you will be a free man or woman. I'm going to say that again. If you can find a way to dissolve or understand or transcend, that's a great way to look at it, your fear of death, you will be unstoppable, right? You will be the person you've always wanted to be, right? All your hopes and dreams will be able to be done when you do that. Esther Hicks says this. Abraham Hicks says this. And many people say it. I don't know if they said it. I read it all the time. After we die, the person that we are then, without this constant obsessing or anxiety or worry or doubting ourselves, the person we are right after we die is an infinite spiritual being, and there is none of that baggage. And so I often, I'm going to share this with you in this video, I often say, Mark, who will you be when you die? Right? And I write down lists of qualities, characteristics, and attributes. I write them down. And then I say this, you got to be that person now, right now, today, because you're going to bring all of that energy, all of that strength and wisdom to your present moment experience, right? If you become that person now, the person you'll be after you die, and bring it into the present moment, you'll be unstoppable. And you won't be able to be manipulated by fear anymore, because you've transcended what fear is, what the death experience is, right? You know it's just a transition. Hopefully you know it's just a transition. I feel it's a transition. And I'm not going to live in fear of that happening when I know that whether you live one day or 100 years, it's about what you do while you're here, right? It's about the quality of your experience while you're here. Would you agree with me in this sense? Would you agree that a person who lived 7 years and did everything they came here to do, they touched people's hearts, they created, they experienced life, they enjoyed, they had adventures, they traveled, is more valuable than a person who lived 100 years in fear? Fear of speaking up, fear of doing what's in their heart, fear of sharing themselves, fear of putting themselves out there, fear of getting out into the world for fear of something might happen to them, right? Fear of germs. I've got a little bit of fear of germs, right? But I manage it because I don't want it to interfere with my life, right? I don't know necessarily it's a fear of germs. That's not accurate. It's a fear of dirt, right? When I'm in the mode to get dirty, I'm okay to get dirty. But when I'm in the mode to be clean, I want to be really freaking clean, okay? So it's just an aversion, right? But look at it this way. Am I going to allow myself not to explore the world, which is filled with dirt, and then not see the world? No, I'm not, right? I'm going to go do that thing because I'm going to compartmentalize it and say, it's time to get dirty, right? And when it's time to get clean, I'll get clean. But what I'm saying is, if you can find a way to transcend fear, you will be the most powerful, unstoppable being you have ever met in your life, because it's challenging. But just think about it. You got to think about what happens at death, right? If the greatest tool that the powers that be, our adversaries in this game of life, so to speak, but whoever they are in your definition, if their greatest weapon is fear and causing you to feel fear so that they can push agendas that are detrimental to you and your fellow human beings, but very aligned with their higher goal, right? That's what they're doing, right? The fear is not the end goal. See, the fear is only the means to the end. The fear allows them to push their end goal, right? Which is more control, more power, less freedom for you, right? More money, more, all of the things that whatever they take from you, they get. And the way to induce that is to inject a little fear into the situation, inject a little fear into the society. It's brilliant when you think about it. It's diabolical, but it's brilliant. And I just want to share that with you in this video. You want to pull the rug out from under their power center? Stop living in fear. And the way to stop living in fear is to get your fears, dump them out on the table, look at them, write them down on paper. What do you fear and why do you fear it? And then ask yourself, should I really fear this? Look at it this way. The reason I don't fear death is this. It's going to happen. I'm not going to worry about what's going to happen right now while I'm living my life. Let me share this with you. I do not remember the Gracie that said this, Gracie, Jiu-Jitsu Gracie, the Brazilian Gracie family, but he said this. He said, what did he say? He said, fear doesn't stop death. Fear stops life. Let me say that again. Fear doesn't stop death. We are going to die, all of us. Fear only stops life, all right? Living in a fear state only detracts from your life experience now. And that's what's happened this last year and a half. We've allowed ourselves to put our lives and our ambitions and our goals on hold. We did that, right? We did it. Remember, all they did is ask us, hey, please do this. We do not have to comply with that. We're sentient free beings, you and I, right? We're in charge of our own futures. And a lot of people didn't. I used that time as one of the most productive and creative times of my entire life. I was happy as a clam. Now, yeah, I was feeding in a little bit of fear to the situation, but honestly, I didn't think about it too much because, again, I don't think about death. I'm too busy thinking about life. And I know you are as well. You have too many things on your plate to worry about death. It's going to happen, but I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to think about it. I don't care about it. I honestly don't care about it. The same way I don't care about what my politicians tell me. It's not on my vision board. None of their agenda is on my vision board, unless their agenda is expansion, fun, freedom, full self-expression, sharing, caring. If those things are on their vision board, then they're on my vision board and we care about them. But that's the only case. So I hope this video finds you well. Please find a way to give up any fear that you're feeling. And again, like I often offer, I want to offer you this too. I offer consulting in this area. I would love to talk with you. If you find that it's difficult to give up fear, reach out to me, gmarkphillips.com/consulting. I'd love to talk with you. I've got a number of tools and thought tools that can help you transcend your fear so you can get back to the game of life, right? There's a link in the description down below. Check it out if you're interested. Thanks for watching this video. Please give me a thumbs up if it helped you in any way, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this talking about how to enhance the human experience, right? How to do what we came to do in the world, do our work in the world, be the person we decided we want to be, right? Do the things we came to do and create the experiences we want to have. Thanks for watching. Until next time, have an awesome day. Bye-bye.